Hello, welcome back to another one of my videos. My name is Melanie, and today we're going to be talking about limiting beliefs and how to change them for good when it comes to weight loss. First, what is a limiting belief? A limiting belief is, I will just break it down. A belief is a thought that you have looping over in your mind over and over and over again. The thought happens so frequently, it ends up becoming hardwired in your brain and ends up becoming a belief. Attach limiting to that word, limiting belief, and you essentially get a very limited way of thinking. What causes these limiting beliefs to form? Limiting beliefs typically form when we're young, typically in childhood, or they can form in our adulthood years as well, or teenage years. But essentially, they form from a very strong emotional experience that's happened. And that strong emotional experience becomes a blueprint within our brain, because essentially, if you think about it like this, the emotions are attracting in the experience. The thought goes out as electricity, and the emotions pull in the experience through magnetism. And essentially, that is how energy works. Thoughts are electrical, they go out. Emotions they're magnetic, and they bring the experience in, they draw the experience in. So when this happens, this is how we create our realities. Essentially, when we have a limiting belief form, it is from a very strong experience that has happened in our lives. It essentially creates our reality. How does this affect our relationship to food? And how does this affect our relationship to our weight? Well, if you have limiting beliefs around your body and food and how you see yourself, how you see the eating experience, how you relate to food and how you relate to your body, if those thoughts that you have about food and your body are limiting, that is going to then give you a very limited experience, a very limited paradigm. Let's do some examples. If I have a limiting belief, that could be an experience that maybe when I was younger, my mom always struggled with her weight. So then I take on that my mom had that experience, so I will also have that experience. My mom struggled with sweets. She always had a sweet tooth. So the limiting belief could be, I then have been passed down genetically this sweet tooth. This belief becomes hardwired in the brain and then becomes my experience. So when I'm presented with ice cream and cookies, I'm not able to say no. Now, I may not even be conscious and aware that my mother or my father behaved with food a certain way. And typically as women, we look to our mom's relationship with our emotions to then handle and deal with our own. So how our mother dealt with her emotions will then in turn affect how we also handle our emotions and how well equipped we feel to handle them. Another example of how a limiting thought can affect the way you see your body or the way you relate to food is that if you feel like every time you eat certain foods that you just gain so much weight, then you will have that experience if it's very strong for you. And a lot of times what we think is that, well, I'm justifiable for having that thought because that's the experience I'm having, right? Well, yes, exactly. That's the whole idea, is that your thinking is so powerful along with your emotional experience. It's essentially creating a loop of that reality. Another example for a limiting belief with your body could be, it's always been hard for me to lose weight. I've always had to work harder than other women. Other women in my family are skinny except me. I've always been bigger. My metabolism is so slow. These are beliefs, are limiting beliefs, because they're creating limiting experiences for us with our weight. So the question is, how do we break free from these limiting thoughts that are keeping us in loops of limiting experiences? In order to break free from a limiting belief, we have to become very aware of how we're thinking, how we're feeling, and how we're acting. What I like to do is take one poor habit that we have around food or how we see our bodies and become very aware of what thoughts are happening when the experience is happening. For example, let's just say every night you have this problem where you can't stop going to the fridge to get cookies. You are going to go to the fridge, and instead of stopping yourself from getting the cookies, notice what emotions are in the background and what thoughts are in the background as you're doing it. And you're going to either journal them down in the experience or journal it down after the experience. You just want to gain insight, at least a little bit, even if it's just 1 or 2 thoughts. So one thought you could have could be, see, I'll just start tomorrow. Or, I never have control over these cookies. I'm never gonna lose weight. I might as well just eat these cookies. You know what? I didn't lose a pound today. I only lost 0.4 ounces. So might as well. Become aware of them by writing it down, writing down the thoughts, and writing down what emotion is going on while you're thinking this way. It could be the emotion of guilt, let's just say, or shame. Once you start doing this, you can then put in new beliefs. So what we don't want to do is spiritual bypass. We don't want to just pretend like we're going to hop into this, willpower our way through the weight loss by not looking at the emotions and the thinking that we have around food in our body. So in order to put in new beliefs, we have to clean out the garden. We have to clean the weeds out. Once we clean the weeds out of the garden, then we can start adding in new beliefs about how we want to feel. We start off with neutral thoughts, like what would it be like for me to have control over my eating? What would it feel like for me to say no to these cookies? Those are neutral thoughts that allow you, they're open-ended questions that allow you to think differently. Then you can start putting in new empowering beliefs, such as in the instance of cookies, I don't even like these cookies. They don't make me feel good. I don't think I'm going to eat them. I have power to say no to this food. I'm going to do that right now. Hey ladies, so I added a list of new beliefs that you can use to reprogram your subconscious. Go ahead and take a screenshot so you can save it to your phone. Alright ladies, so I hope you find this video useful. Please like and subscribe. Share this with anyone that you feel like is struggling with gaining and losing and not having control over their eating. I would love to help you. I also offer one-on-one sessions. You can book a call with me, and I have my link in the description box to see if we could work together and I could help you crush your goals, lose weight, and feel empowered with your eating. Alright, I'll see you ladies next time. Bye!